Hey guys, it's Jardier here, again, coming to you through Overtake YouTube channel with another racing tutorial. Racing games such as Assetto Corsa Competizione feature one of the most hardest and most challenging things you can have in sim racing: endurance racing. Most of the races you usually do are like 20 minutes to 60 minutes or even 2 hours, but the endurance races are super essential because you race something between, let's say, 3 hours to 24 hours, sometimes even more, sometimes even in the different types. But I'm gonna be here if you will get ever a seat in a team that is doing like a 6-hour race of Spa, for example. I'm gonna give you some essential tips to improve your driving and improve your experience. Endurance races is my favorite type of racing. They require you to be patient, focused, and in a game for a long time. While some endurance races can only feature short stints, the other endurance races can give you stints that are 3 to 6 hours, which is an immense amount of the time. To be prepared for that, there are some things you need to do. This is my own preference, what works for me the best, so maybe some of this will be good tip for you as well. First of all, I prepare a huge jug of water, let's say even 2 liters of water, because you really need to stay hydrated. To get me a little bit sugar when I feel a little bit lower, I get some soda drink. And then if I know that I'm doing like a very long stint or very long racing and I don't have anything else, I prepare like a chocolate bar or chocolate itself. It really works very well for me because when you race for a very, very long time, you have to be focused so hard for a long time that your sugar is going down and like everything is going down. So you need to stay hydrated so you can stay focused on everything. This works very well for me, so maybe you can adjust it for your personal abilities, what you prefer. Maybe some vegetables or fruit is working very well as well. Bathroom break is also mandatory. You don't want your needs to come in the way when you're driving for a long time. I'm an expert for this, guys. Another important thing is scheduling. In endurance racing, you almost always drive with a team or teammate. You should figure out who drives when beforehand. However, if you feel unwell or not ready to race, you should also communicate that to your colleague. They might be able to jump in for you and take your stint. A general game changer for me is to have like a comfortable seating position, comfortable chair or a rig if you can, because that's a game changer for me. I can sit in my rig for 12 hours not having any back pain or anything like that. The only thing that can hurt is my wrists from all the driving for a very long time. And it's very important for you guys to have this, if you can, to have a comfortable chair or seating position or a rig, because it will change your sim racing life. Now that you have assembled everything, we can focus on actual racing. Once the race started, after a few laps, me and my teammates like to evaluate the pace. So if the first driver is relatively slow, we can adjust to that. If his pace is not good enough, we can switch early or do it the other way around. If the first driver is right on the pace, he might stay in the car longer to build up the lead. Something that you need to remember when switching with your teammate in the pits is the mindset of the racer. Often, you want to do better than your teammate right away. You want to beat or match his pace right away when you leave the pits. This is the most common time when people crash in the endurance races. If you jump into the car after your teammate's stint, you need few laps to adjust to the car, how it handles, how it feels, also the track conditions and the opponents around the racetrack. You have to take it very easy because this is the most common place where people make a mistake. Something you can do that might help you in the situation is to go into the offline server and practice a little bit before you switch with your teammate. Preferably try to take the same setup and try to take the same conditions of the racetrack you are driving right now in a race. So take it easy for the first few laps, especially if the conditions are variable. On a circuits like Barcelona, which can be very demanding for your tires, the first few laps can decide a whole stint. If you overheat your tires too much, you will feel the effect during later of your stint. Once you're in a car, there's not much you can do with the setup point of view. The only thing you can change is the fuel and the tire pressures. But there is one rule you can follow. If you drive in wet conditions, for example, and the car feels very oversteery, there is the possibility to change the tire pressures to fix this a little bit. The optimal tire pressure on wet tires when they are warm is around 30 to 30.5. But if you slightly modify the rear as well to make it around half a point lower, so let's say you will have 30.5 on the front, 29.9 on the rear, you can make the car way more stable. The trick works in the dry as well, but it has less impact. One last thing is to stay motivated in an endurance race. A teammate is a great help there. If your teammate is, for example, tired, you can chat with him to cheer him up a little bit. If he's not happy with his pace, you can give him some compliments that he's catching the guy ahead, he's doing very good consistent lap times, you can pat him on the back a little bit. And you can give him some challenges, you know, to do good sectors and to catch the guys ahead. Because in the long endurance races, when you are, for example, a minute behind a leader, you can get demotivated, but you should never give up. Because in endurance races, anything can happen. Any endurance race is a real test for any driver. No matter how experienced you are, you will always have to be on point and prepared to have a success in the longer races. Before your race starts, make sure your needs are taken care of. Whatever it's your hydration, bathroom, or level of concentration. If you don't feel well, you can always ask your teammate to take over your stint. Don't forget this is a team effort and your health is the most important. Take the start slowly. You don't win the endurance race in the first lap of the race. The consistency and the long-term driving is the most important. For example, when you take over of your teammate's car, be very careful in the first opening laps to get used to the car, get used to the handling, and focus on your driving. And that is all the basics you need to know for the endurance racing. If you want to know more about the racing in general, or Assetto Corsa in particular, make sure to watch the other tutorials with me on the Overtake YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification on the channel, and follow the Overtake GG channel for more tutorials and more the videos. My name is Jardier, and have a great day!